I saw Sims logos over my friend's head. Everybody's controlled by one person. I'm literally not even controlled by me. My eyesight goes fucking white. Thought I was getting sent up to heaven on everything I fucking love. I'm about to sneeze. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever wondered if there's more to this life than perceived? Have you ever wondered if there are realms beyond what we can see with our eyes? Today I'm gonna tell you a story as old as time. My first ever endeavor into the psychedelic realm. I got a very amazing story, but first, before I tell you this story, you have to go all the way back. You see, I always knew there was more to this life than what I was told and what I'd seen. From a very young age, I had started researching about psychedelics. All types of psychedelics, DMT, mushrooms, acid, scary plants, all around the world. And I knew at least one time in my life I had to try it. So when I was doing my research and all this, a documentary had just come out on Netflix. So the documentary that I had watched was called Have a Good Trip, and it has a bunch of famous artists, creators, and all these type of people just talking about the first time they tripped and all this shit. I had watched that about 3 times because I thought that was like one of the best documentaries ever, and it's still pretty good. You should go and watch it, right? I had watched this multiple times, and that was one of my key pieces of media that I could use to kind of understand what I was getting myself into. The day didn't come around for a very long time until August of 2020. I was 18 years of age. Me and my friends wanted to go on a camping trip and try acid. We thought the best place to do it would be in nature. We decided to go on a camping trip. That's right. We found a location, got the tents, got everything, got the food supplies, got the drugs, and we had made our way to the location on this fateful day. We chose a campsite. Unfortunately, what we did not know is when we got there, it was a shared campsite, meaning we had to share the space with other people. Just some lovely families enjoying some camping time with each other. It was clear to us that we was in the wrong location for what we had planned. We had drove into our slot and we'd looked left and right and seen kids riding bikes and families cooking hot dogs and marshmallows. We had instantly known we was in the wrong fucking place. Matter of fact, the second we had got in there, a kid rode past riding his bike as we was driving into our slot. We was driving slowly, very alert, but the mother had come over and complained to us about these kids driving their bikes here and all this shit. We was not driving fast at all. There was no way we was gonna hit these kids. It was just some mum being a bitch. It was a Karen, I'm not gonna lie. You know, we complied, whatever. We're not trying to start no problems, especially with what we had planned for their campsite. As we got out of the car, you know, we huddled up and we was like, guys, this is not the right in place for what we want to do. We have to think of something now because there's no way we're doing acid here. By the time we got there, it was already getting kind of dark, so we decided to set up camp for the night, eat some food, and then we had planned to get an Airbnb and just do it there. When you want to do stuff like this, I don't advise you do stuff like this, but when you want to do stuff like this, you want to make sure you plan ahead, make sure the plan is foolproof, especially for this. You want to be in controlled environments, please. We was not. We was not in a controlled environment. No, sir, we was not. This was far from controlled. Kids, dogs, angry parents. Like, we hadn't even done anything yet, and the parents around us was angry. We could feel their negativity. I said, fuck that. Let's enjoy our night for tonight, and let's get going to this Airbnb tomorrow. And that's what we did. You know, we had set up the tents, the campfires. We had a little bit of food, smoked a little bit of ooh. We managed to set up every tent except one. Mine. That night I had slept in the car. It's got to be one of the most uncomfortable fucking sleeps of my life. I'm not gonna lie. We slept in a I slept in a C1 Citroen. The car was small. It was tiny. I had woken up at 5 a.m. and I see them all with their flashlights and their cameras laughing at me because I'm huddled up like this, sleeping in a car with a fucking angry expression on my face. Nevertheless, we get moving. So now we get on the road and we're heading to the Airbnb. You know, spirits are high. None of us know what we are in store for. All of us had never done anything like this before. We get to the Airbnb, you know, it's a nice little house, you know. Let me describe the living room. The living room, so alongside the 2 sofa beds, it had like a butter reflection floor. Like the floor was really smooth and looked like butter had been spread all along the floor. This was nothing wrong when I was sober, right? There was nothing wrong with this idea when I was sober. It looked alright. I didn't even pay no mind to it, okay? It had paintings on the wall. There was this one painting. Hopefully I can get pictures pictures because I need to paint this picture for you right now. There was this one painting. As I said, when I was sober, this did not mean anything to me, okay? It was a picture of 5 horsemen in like water painting in a derby, just race. It's just like some default picture shit you'd find in an Airbnb or in any random house, right? We thought nothing of it. Keep note of that because it does play an important part in the story later on. There was 5 of us, and I think there was 2 bedrooms. For some reason, these bedrooms were themed. I don't know why. This was sick to me. It didn't affect me too much until later on in the story, okay? One of the rooms was blue and had like a picture of mountains on the wall, like you know the cloudy skies painting? The whole thing's swirly. It's kind of like that, but not swirly. The whole picture it was like a water painting of some sort, right? It was cool for when I was sober, right? It was nothing wrong with this room at all, and this was gonna be my room. The second room was a yellow room. It was like a beehive room. It was like, it had a mirror, which is like built out of little hexagons and shit. It was cool. It was a nice little vibe. Downstairs, we had pull-out beds, like pull-out sofas, 2 of them, and a kitchen, and then a back garden. It was cool. It was nice. For some reason, we got there and there was a cat. I don't know why the cat lived in the house. The cat lived in the house for some reason. I don't know. We just had to chill with a cat coming in and out whenever the fuck it pleased. Why did the Airbnb lady trust us with her cat? I don't know, because it really could have gone left with the cat. I'm not gonna lie, it could have gone left with the cat. I've heard some crazy stories. You never know what goes down when you're doing shit like this, right? What we did first is we got there, we cooked some food, we cooked some breakfast. So now that we had all eaten, we had tested our product the night before, so we knew it was all good to go. I think now, if I'm not corrected, because this was a couple years ago, I haven't told this story to anyone ever, so I'm having to recoup this. I'm living all through this again myself. But now was the time. We had all got together in the middle, put our blots of little teeny tiny paper in the middle, and cheersed, and put it on our tongues and let it sit there. Now we wait. So we had decided to go for a little walk while we was waiting for this shit to kick in. I think we walked around for a little bit, did some silly shit. One of my friends decided to prank us and put a fucking clock in the toilet, so I had gone upstairs to take a piss, opened the fucking lid and see a clock in the toilet. Now I wasn't feeling shit yet, so this didn't affect me as much as it could have, but this could have really fucked me up. That would have actually had the potential to spin me to somewhere fucking dark. But we laughed about it. As time goes on, one of us decides to be like, yeah, let's go out to the nearest park. There was a park about 5-minute walk away from us. We brought football, we brought some J's, we smoked and walked. We was going to play some football. We was like, yeah, let's play some football. So we walked a little bit further down and we see a football pitch, right? That you'd see in a park. Didn't have a net, nothing like that. Just 2 bars, basically. We had smoked the J's and like, now what I was informed about was that if you do smoke while you are on a come up, it's going to amplify everything. And it's not gonna feel the same as one on its own. It's going to rocket ship you. So we had all smoked at this point in time. So as we're getting to play football now, something's just come over me. I don't know if everybody else was feeling it. Something has just come over me. This was just like becoming the most impossible task to do. I couldn't even put 2 and 2 together. Like the thought of like chasing after someone to get the ball was just hard. I have no clue what we would have looked like from another person's point of view, but we was probably doing nothing until the point we all just stopped and looked at each other like telepathically. We knew what to say. We didn't say words. We was like, essentially what we were saying telepathically is there's no way we can do this right now because I'm feeling fucked up. So we all telepathically decide, none of us said words. I'm trying to tell you, none of us said words. We all telepathically decided, let's go back to the fucking house right now. This is getting serious. Like, we was like, someone must have been like, should we? And then everybody went, yeah. Like, we was like, yeah, we're fucked up, essentially, is what we're trying to say. We're fucked up right now. So, as we are walking back to the house, I, for some reason, feel like I'm on a treadmill. Like, it felt weird. It just felt like the whole world was a big treadmill. We was walking on this fucking treadmill. I'm like, do you guys, like, are you feeling like we're on? And then everybody's like, yeah. I didn't have to say anything. I don't know what the fuck happened, but we was all telepathically connected, all 5 of us. Let me not get ahead of myself. There's more to come about that. So we get back home and now we are feeling it. We are fucked up. We are smacked. We all sit down and we're just like, oh, fuck. We're just looking around the room. The floor, it just slowly looks like it's melting. It looks like butter, and it looks like we're just sinking into the fucking floor. It was weird. The floor just looked weird. It looked grotesque, in fact. It actually made me feel a little bit sick. It was just a gross looking floor now. We're just observing the room. We're all just got so much, not even energy, but like we just got so much like anxiety from whatever. We was fucked up. We was looking around now, and now we see the painting once again with the 5 horsemen. The painting did not look like it did 40 minutes ago. No, sir. We take a look at the painting, and we take a look at the horse's eyes, and they were staring at us. All of the horse's eyes were staring at us with evil intent. It was genuinely the most disturbing thing of my life. The painting now had energy that I could feel. It was terrifying. We came to the conclusion, we need to move this painting right the fuck now. We took the painting off the wall and we put it in the kitchen because there's no way we could look at that. In fact, looking at it brought that deep down trauma from my childhood. So we moved the painting. At this point, we're all fucking tweaking. There's a sofa bed right here, and there's a sofa bed right here. And I think there was another seat right over here. So me and my friend are sitting here, 2 others are sitting here, and 1 sitting over here, right? And we are all like trying to communicate with each other. If you was there, it would have probably sounded like fucking garbage. But we was all telepathically communicating, and we was all coming to terms with the fact that we are currently like talking without talking. We was all like, is this really happening? I was like, I must have said some shit like, cause it's like, and we was all taking turns in like a circle motion. So it'd be me who talks, then him, and then him, and then him, and then him, and then me again. It was the weirdest shit. It felt like we wasn't even in control of what was happening to us. The circumstances that we was dealt. It felt like there was a higher power controlling us. I swear on everything I love. Now this alone had sent me down a dark path about the reality of what I was living in. This world that I thought I knew. I'm trying not to freak out. I'm wondering if I've been set up. Like, I'm really thinking my boys have set me up. This can't be real right now. I feel like this is the end of my fucking life as I've known it. There's no way I'm coming back from this. I was terrified. I was like to them, guys, we should have got a trip set for this. Guys, we got and they're like, no, we're good. But like, bro, I was freaking the fuck out. This thing that could be a circumstance, or it could be something psychedelic and spiritual that we can't even perceive right now. I have an explanation for it, maybe my theory, but I will wait till the end, right? So at this point, we had decided to put on a movie to calm our nerves, right? We thinking something lighthearted, something that's gonna get us going, right? Something that's gonna make us laugh. So what we do is we go on Netflix on the TV and decide to watch Sausage Party. Now, this seemed like a great idea. But if you've ever watched Sausage Party, it's essentially about how the food have just found out that the whole world that they've known forever is a fucking lie. Everything they've ever known is a fucking lie. That's what Sausage Party is about, right? So now this minor coincidence has now been amplified by the weed and acid to 1,000,000. I'm thinking there's no way. I probably forgot the whole plot of Sausage Party. At this time, I'm just like, put on something, please, to like ease my soul. Please put on anything. So we put on Sausage Party. They get to singing and shit. And the lyrics are basically just like saying, oh yeah, we live this life. We like, once we leave the fucking gates, we like go and live with the big humans forever and they love us and shit. It's like a whole huge metaphor for fucking life, that whole movie, right? Well, what life is perceived by the writers of the movie, essentially, right? It's very interesting if you think about it. It is literally a metaphor for life. And then once they find out everything's fake, they just slip down a fucking world of degeneracy, fucking each other. It's kind of a metaphor for life. It's kind of crazy, right? So as the fucking song's playing, I'm like freaking the fuck out, like, this is it. I am connected to everybody. I'm not even myself. I'm literally not even controlled by me. Now, as I'm saying this, I don't know why, but for some reason I could picture, like, for some reason, I couldn't see it, but I could see it. I could see Sims diamonds. You know, in the Sims game, because in the Sims, you're controlling the Sims, right? They don't have any free will to do whatever the fuck they like. You're controlling them. I saw Sims logos over my friend's head. I'm not fucking joking. I'm like, this is it. I'm not even I don't have any free will. I am controlled by one person. Everybody's controlled by one person. And I was coming to this fucking conclusion. My heart is beating. My eyesight goes fucking white. I couldn't see out of my fucking eyes. I thought I was getting sent up to heaven on everything I fucking love. This is not a fucking joke. I swear on everything I fucking love. This is what happened to me, right? And then all of a sudden, I'm back. I'm still fucking high as shit, but like I can breathe and I'm like, I have control of what's going on. I don't know. This was probably the scariest thing that's ever happened to me in my life. I don't know how I came out of that mindset, but I had come to grips with my situation at hand. We turned the fucking Sausage Party movie off, best believe that. I don't know what we watched, but we couldn't watch that movie. That shit was going to send me to a dark place. I was literally having the biggest panic attack I've ever had in my whole fucking life. At this point, we decided to get up and move around the house. We got to see some new shit. Okay, so what we did was we walked up the stairs and we decided to go to my room. I think I walked off on my own and I went to my room and I looked around. I looked at the blue textures on the walls that looked like waves. I'm like, no fucking way. And I looked at the painting in the middle of the room, the one I told you about, the mountains. I looked in it and I could see faces in the picture everywhere where I couldn't see that earlier. Earlier on it was a normal picture, now I can see literal fucking faces in the picture. I'm like, there's no fucking way. I call my boys up there, they say the same damn thing. I didn't tell you about this, but in the corner of the room there is a mirror. Now they say in the documentary and in other forms of media to never look in a mirror when you're on acid. I'm automatically terrified of this fucking thing. I didn't even bother looking at it. I'm terrified to look in the mirror and look at myself. I was terrified. Right? I was mortified, so I didn't. But I got my boys up there and they had confirmed what I had seen, my biggest fears, that there was fucking faces in the paintings. I automatically said, fuck that. I don't care about having a bed. I'm switching with whoever's downstairs. I'm sleeping downstairs on the sofa bed. Fuck that. Even though that pain's down there. Now let that be abundantly clear. Even though the pain's down there, I am not sleeping in the fucking room with faces in the walls, nigga. So we get along now. We must have just had 30 minutes of just walking around, tripping out, talking to each other telepathically. Craziest shit of all time, right? Now it got time, we was hungry. So we decided to get some pizza. We'd all ordered one pizza each and delivered to the door. Now when the delivery driver had got to the door, one of my friends goes up and tries to open the door. He looks at the guy in the face, he says, and then just laughs at him, right? And then runs off. I had to be the one to step up and just take the pizzas, and it was normal. It didn't even feel like anything crazy. I was like, you're right, mate. Took the pizzas, let's go. And as I'm looking at them, they're to the side of me because the front door's right here. They're looking at me and they're all laughing, like they're all just like giggling like shit. It is the craziest shit ever. Like, they did not have the capabilities to talk to someone. It didn't even feel weird to me. I was just like, it should have felt weird considering I was the one who was freaking out the most. So we took the pizzas, we took which ones were ours, and we just start feasting. I can't remember if we was watching anything. I don't think we was watching anything. We just all sat there in silence and ate our pizzas. We snacked down. It was the most disgusting pizza I've ever had in my life. It just felt greasy and disgusting and slimy. It is the worst thing ever. Imagine a greasy, gross pizza amplified by all the drugs that you were on. It was the most disgusting thing ever, right? What I forgot to mention around this time is that my good friend George, who you've seen on this channel before, he was very well aware of what was happening today. He had decided to send me a little something, right? I don't know if you've ever seen on Instagram the memes where they're like, dude, I'm tripping right now. I'm on acid right now. Please just tell me something to calm me down. And then they send them some fucking demonic picture with a bunch of scary text that leaks off the fucking screen. Yeah, he did that to me. Fortunately, I know the memes are very well aware of the memes and knew what was happening, so I found it hilarious, but there was no way I was fucking staring at it for that long. So I looked at it, laughed, knew what was going down. Okay, that's getting a bit creepy. Closed my phone. I didn't even want to touch my phone. For some reason, phones, they feel bad. You can literally feel the radiation coming off of your phone in your hand. It feels like it's actively doing damage to you. It is the weirdest shit. You don't want to use your phone on acid or on psychedelics. You just feel it. You feel everything amplified. It's the craziest shit. You feel frequencies and vibrations unknown to you at other times. I don't advise any of you to do any of this shit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm stupid. I'm gonna take that risk. Yeah, so by the time we had finished our pizzas, it was kind of getting dark, I believe. We had decided, let's go back out. We had gone out. My anxiety had not faded away this whole time. I recommend if you're gonna do something like this, make sure you're in a great mindset. Make sure your health is amazing. You're in the best physique ever. All of this shit, just to make sure you feel amazing. Make sure your diet is amazing, immaculate. None of that was for me at the time. Now, some people say that psychedelics is a tool. It tells you where you are lacking in life and it will not ever hide the truth. The truth will always come out, right? If you feel like shit, do not do this shit. So essentially, I had anxiety the whole time. All my friends was having a good time. I had one friend who, he had the same phrase that he had been spamming this whole night. He had said not many words. The only phrase he had, unlocked at the time was the song had just dropped. That song with Heady One and Drake, and he did not stop spamming that fucking song. In fact, I don't even think it did drop. I think it dropped in December of last year, and he was spamming that shit, right? That's all he was saying. He was having a jolly old time, I'm not gonna lie. I'm over here freaking out, thinking about the fucking world and thinking about fucking...
When we talk about like the political and economic state of the world right now,
the reality of this, the fucking Matrix, the fact that I'm seeing things and they are fucking physical things, and everybody is having this same experience. It felt like it was bringing me closer to the truth of what this world is, right? We're sitting in the house now and we have come up with the crazy idea. Let's all go to London right now. Let's go and get on the nearest train and go to London right now. I don't know who thought that was a great idea. We all followed along. So we start walking outside, right? We get like halfway down the road and we're like, nah, this is a stupid idea. Let's just go and explore. So we go to the park. We go start walking to the park, right? And everything feels weird. It feels like I'm in Gotham fucking City. Like, it feels weird. The sky is like dark blue, but like bright. In the distance, it looked like a fucking chemical plant had just fucking exploded in the sky. It looked so fucking weird. In the sky, you could see lines all the way over in like a dome shape, right? It was the weirdest shit, and I was not the only one seeing this, right? Okay, I confirmed. You know, in a globe you have in a geography class, right? They have the little lines on them all around. That's what we had up here, okay? The cars were shiny and smooth because of the reflections. It was just trippy. It was the trippiest shit. Cars didn't seem right. They looked like marshmallows melting in the distance. Houses looked like fucking pumpkins. It felt like I was in The Nightmare Before Christmas, or whatever the fuck that movie's called with Jack Skellington. It felt like I was in that, right? The moon was bloodshot fucking red. Out of all the days for the moon to be red, it was blood red, like Red Moon Lil Uzi Vert. I'm not joking. Out of all the days for there to be weird shit going on, it was the day we all took acid. Why? So we're in the park and we sit down over this little ledge bit, sort of, where it dips down. We sit over it like a little hill. We sit down and I put my hand on the grass, and I'm still freaking out. All of my friends are sitting beside me like this, right? I'm still freaking out. I put my hand on the grass and I could feel the electricity in the fucking grass. I felt it like charging my hand. It felt like, I put my hand on the grass. It's like, oh, that's like spicy. I can't put my hand down on that bitch, right? I couldn't even put my hand on the grass because the feeling was just it was too much. So let me put this into perspective. Red moon in the sky over there. Blue chemical explosion over there in the fucking sky. It was like white accurate lines in the sky, like I'm like a globe in a fucking classroom. The cars, smooth, shiny, also sort of melting. The houses, sort of melting, looking gross as fuck. It all looked gross. Everything looked gross and slimy and gross. I don't know why. It's probably because we was in fucking Orpington, okay? If you know where that is, you know where that is. I wasn't gonna say the location, but we was in Orpington. Now, hopefully, you can understand why everything is the way it is. The dumbest shit we've ever done. Not the experience, the location was the dumbest shit ever. I'm freaking out. We're all sitting down and I'm freaking out. My anxiety is not going away at all. So after some time, I'm begging them, please can we go back to the house? Please can we go back to the house? It's getting late at this point. It's getting late. So we get back to the house. I think we all sit down and we watch something for a little bit. I can't remember what we watched. We watched a few things, right? And I'm so out of my fucking medulla, I cannot even process what we're watching. Like, everything on the screen had like geometrical patterns on it and like fucking lines and all of these things. I couldn't even see what the fuck was on the TV, barely. Everything just looked like I had broken the Matrix. Quite truthfully, looked like I broke the fucking Matrix. I really can't even watch the TV, so I'm looking around and I start to look at my friend and tell me why this motherfucker is starting to look like Squidward. And not just any Squidward, the Squidward when fucking SpongeBob smashes his head into the door. This nigga looks busted. He looks disgusting to look at. I'm terrified to my core. Sorry to say, it's the truth. You made me feel very, very uncomfortable in this point. I'm like, there's no way this nigga's real right now. One of my other friends is already fucking lying down in the sofa bed, and all you can see is his head sticking out. I was fully convinced that he was just only bed. This nigga has been bed the whole time. He is just bed now. He had head and bed, and that was it. All this time later, when I was distracted by something of the sort, someone had moved the painting back into the fucking room. Yes, the painting. It wasn't on the wall. It was behind the sofa, but I could feel its energy. Something was fucking very wrong. So I look behind the sofa. I reach under and pull it up. The painting is right there. Now I know it's there. I'm abundantly aware of it being there, and I will never forget the fact that it's behind me right now. Now it's getting late. Everybody starts going off to bed. It's just me and Bed Friend now. Bed. That's his name. He is literally Bed. It's just me and Bed. So we decide, let's just, now that we've had this experience, this crazy fucking experience, mind-blowing experience, let's go back and watch the documentary one more time. Very good documentary, one of the best. I've watched that over 5 times probably. And we're watching it. It's like, wow, I can't believe, I'm just sitting there in my own thoughts like, wow, I can't believe all of this shit is the truth. Like like I'm trying to piece together what's going on. I still can't believe we was all telepathically talking for more than an hour. We was all just doing the craziest shit, and I couldn't even fathom it at the point that what I was experienced has really truly happened. Now my friend Bed, he is slowly starting to go to sleep, and then it was just me and the painting. Yes, the painting. Yes, the painting. It's just me and the painting, right? He's gone to bed now. I'm still abundantly clear where the painting is. I even moved from the other sofa bed to like opposite, so I could have a view of where the painting was at all times. I wouldn't even dare reach over and move it somewhere else so I could sleep. When I tell you, that whole night, I didn't sleep at all. Not even for a minute. I tried. I knew the painting was there. I couldn't. I didn't sleep that whole night. I stayed up for 12 hours that night. 12 hours until the morning time when it was time to go home. We pack up. We get all of our shit out into the 2 cars we came with, and it's time to go home. I feel really enlightened at this point. I'm definitely not nowhere near where I was that time yesterday. I'm feeling good at this point. I feel like there's an existential crisis going on in my mind, but I am calm and I am humbled by the experience I've just had. As we're driving in the car, just got my hand out the window, looking out, we listen to the tunes. I'm just thinking about life. This shit's crazy. I don't know about them, but I never went to bed. So the psychedelics never really wore off. And everything was really vibrant and colorful. And everything was amazing, right? So we had got back to our hometown now, and we're all about to part ways. We celebrate the moment with a joint. We all smoke and go our separate ways. I'm waiting for this bus so I can get back to where I live, and they all live in a general vicinity where they can drive or walk. So I'm on my own. I still have a little bit of psych in me, and I've just hit this J differently. I chiefed that bitch, right? So all of them same feelings I was feeling yesterday are coming back while I'm waiting for the bus. The cars are starting to look smooth and bright and melting a little bit. I'm like, there's no fucking way. Not again. I wait for over an hour for this bus to come. I don't even know if I even got the bus at that time. I think I might have had to do something. I think I might have had to even call for a fucking Uber or some shit, because the buses play about sometimes. The buses are awful where I live, right? So I didn't get back home for so fucking long. Mind you, I had not slept. I still had all of my fucking camping equipment on me and all. Like, there was no, it was bad, okay? It was bad. Finally touched down where I live, and I'm starting to walk back to my house, and I feel like I've completed the mission. The sky's bright blue, the fucking flowers are vibrant. Everything is so vibrant. Life is so colorful. I've never ever experienced life to be that colorful ever before in my life. I'm walking back and I feel like I've made it. And I finally get to my house. I walk over to my bed, which was literally situated right here at the time. I swap around the location of my bed sometimes. It was like this. I lie down and I go to sleep. I just feel like, yes, I can finally go to sleep. And even then, I couldn't really go to sleep. I closed my eyes and I'm still seeing patterns and shit. I had this fear in the back of my mind, like, yo, I might never get to sleep. I might be fucked up like this for the rest of my life. But there was a peace that came with it. I understood the risk that I took, and I was willing to go out like that. I eventually get to sleep and I wake up and I'm sober, and I'm so thankful. Everything's back to normal. I'm so thankful. And that's the end of the story. That was it. The first time and ever time I did acid. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you want to hear more stories, I got another story for you. The first time I did shrooms. If you want to hear that, let me know. Please let me know how you enjoyed this video. I haven't done a story time on this channel since I was 13, 14. I got a lot more stories now. A lot more shit has happened, boy. Best believe a lot more shit has happened. So if you want to hear more stories, I got that for you. If you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, all of that good shit. And I've been JD's. I'm out of this bitch.
Oh God, JD's.